Narcissism on the toxic spectrum, it's really on the far end. When I went into psychotherapy, this is when the real work started. I had really to confront my demons. There is always a younger version of us who is really attached to these mechanisms, like the nitpicking, like I want your validation. Surround yourself with the right people. The more you carry a positive energy, the more you are out there, you will attract automatically like-minded people.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. To all the amazing subscribers, welcome. Thank you for always joining us in this journey. I remain your humble host, Kat, and today is extra special because I have a special guest with me today. Let's welcome Chantel, the founder of Soulspark Coaching. She's a certified professional coach who empowers people to heal from toxic and narcissist dynamics, guiding them to discover their worth and confidence. She's here not to share just her own story, but to give us the tool, hope, and insight that can truly transform our life. Your life, my life. Whatever life. So whether you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. This story, you are going to get inspired, learn, because it's something powerful today. Let's get started. Welcome, Chantel. Let's start with something very light. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'll be better by the end of it, but I'm fine. I'm excited.
Tell us about
I'm excited.
Who is Chantel?
First of all, Kathy, before I start introducing myself, no, really, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to be on your platform, to tell you about myself, my story, my journey, the whole of it. So who is Chantal? Chantal, first of all, my name is Chantal, obviously, Chantal Khawam. I'm Lebanese. I'm a mother of a daughter. She's 18 years old now. And I'm married with my husband, who's also Lebanese. I met him here in Dubai.
Wow.
So it's been ages that I'm in Dubai, and I'm proud to call Dubai my home.
How many years are you in Dubai?
Oh my God, I lost counting. 35 years now. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for those of you who think you can't find love in Dubai, there is love in Dubai, yeah?
Well said.
There is love in Dubai.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, I noticed you had a surgery recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, now I'm much better. I'm much, much better. Thank God. Everything is going well. And I have a very nice support system. I'm really grateful for that. In terms of physiotherapist, physiotherapist.
You don't mind sharing a little bit about what happened, what kind of surgery you had?
Yes, of course, because I have to talk a bit about the background. So at the age of 2 years and a half, I was diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis.
2 years?
2 years and a half, yeah. I was like a baby. And juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, it's, it's like pain in the joints with high fever flares.
Yeah.
It was the war and everything. So my parents took me to not, let's say, the right doctor for that. So it led to a medical mistake. So I could have survived with the arthritis, but that medical mistake, this is exactly what led me to the surgeries, let's say, hips and knees surgeries, which I always like to refer saga, because really it's like chapter after chapter after chapter. And basically my life was, this morning when coming here, I'm like, it's really interesting because when you try to really connect the dots and you try to really put a recap, do a recap on your life, the kind of observation I had, really, I've seen it all. The reason I'm saying this, it's not just to have self-pity or whatever. It's to honor that version of me, because she's the one who led me to who I am today. So so I've been going through those surgeries, and the last one was last November in the knee. To come back to introducing myself, so I've really had a very interesting journey, to say the least. So my identity today, I can comfortably say my identity is not defined by these surgeries and not defined by this disease. And I can really comfortably say that because I took a major step in 2018 to go into psychotherapy. And the reason why mainly is because I reached a point in my life where my psyche, my emotions, everything really, I got overwhelmed with everything what was happening around me.
But before the psychotherapy,
Yes.
what made you choose that name, soulspark?
Soulspark.
Or is it part of the therapy?
It's part of the, yeah.
So we're going that direction.
Yeah, we will go.
Okay.
Exactly. So in 2018, I decided to go into psychotherapy because really my psyche was overloaded. And really at that time, I was functioning from my core wound, which was the victim. Like I was a victim. Like what's happening to me? Why me? You know, when we perceive everything from a victim mindset.
You were overwhelmed.
I was overwhelmed and I was really feeling very low at the point of my life.
But what made you in that stage that you're feeling overwhelmed? Did something happen?
Yes, of course, the surgeries, which affect the mental.
Oh, yes.
Like always, every time I was finishing a certain rehabilitation
Then
from a
something
certain
else
surgery,
is.
there is another revision to do. Or a dislocation, let's say.
God.
So always I had something like pursuing me. Never being able to fly from my wings, with my wings.
Even you had things to do, you have plans.
Of course, I had dreams.
But because of this surgery, it's like draining you and you start to rethink your life like, okay, should I just take a pause or should I just end?
Exactly. And of course, it affected my mental in the sense that why this is happening to me. I'm not defined by this. My life is not going to be all about pain and all about surgeries.
Yeah.
And in parallel to this, the kind of relationships that I had, I mean, I never knew exactly what was happening, but I knew there was something wrong. Like in the sense, what I mean by this, I knew that I was overgiving. I knew that I was people-pleasing to be able to be loved, not because I was a victim, but I wanted to be loved or feel validated.
So you were doing more than you should be doing. You were giving more than you should.
I knew there was something like not going well, and I wanted, for sure, I didn't know how, but I wanted to get out of it. I had a fire inside of me, like a rage and something like an anger, like I want to get out of it. And also, I have to mention this, I was always passionate about psychology, always passionate about psychology and human behavior. So I already had this base.
So you had this base, no one encouraged you?
No, by myself. I knew that I was passionate about this. I knew I had to fix something inside of me and it had to start with me.
Yes.
I knew this.
Yes.
So this is what led me to psychotherapy. So when I went into psychotherapy, this is when the real work started. I had really to confront my demons and this is really extremely tough. Anyone who has been into psychotherapy.
Who could be this demon? Could be your past
of course
relationship or your childhood upbringing?
Yes, my inner demons. And this is exactly what I discovered through psychotherapy. Like there is certain mechanisms that we took from this household, this household, our caregivers, the type of family we had. So this is what I discovered through psychotherapy, that I never denied, because I have to speak my truth. Like I never denied that, yes, something really dysfunctional with this family. And I always, because of that, I always felt different. Like even to the point sometimes am I really the child of these parents? Like there is something wrong. I was looking at my brother and sister. My brother came after me, like 5 years after me. So I really spent 5 years alone in this household. And when they came along, I started really observing what was happening. And I clearly felt that although it was the same dynamic from my parents, but the way I was absorbing this, it was different. This is what I find out in psychotherapy. Like really, there was a certain mechanism embedded in my subconscious, you know that from 0 to 7 years old, this is where we absorb the most from our parents.
Yes, yes.
So automatically there is like a software from this childhood that is already installed in your subconscious.
And this is very, very hard to get off.
True.
It's one of the hardest things because I've noticed a lot of people that they grow up in a very strict family. Not that the parents do not want them to be great, but the way they go about it affects the upbringing of this child.
True.
And then it disturbs their mental health because most parents back in the day, they are very, very strong, mean, and the kind of words that they say. And this, when you grow up with this mental, it affects your thinking. True. You don't know if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing.
True. And there are certain codes also, you know, that there is a software and they install even the codes to how they communicate with you. So they know your triggers.
Communication.
They know exactly what to trigger in you. So later on in your adult life, when you start being surrounded by more or less the same kind of software that your parents have, so you start seeing those, you know, like mechanisms again.
Yes.
So this is where you start questioning yourself, like why this is repeating to me or whatever. So not to derive too much from the subject. So in psychotherapy, I discovered all these mechanisms, these breakthroughs. And I've spent 5 years because I was really passionate and I really wanted to continue and dig because I was passionate to see from this, when you extract, you know, the excavation that you're doing from your inner world, from your demons, what more? I wanted to really continue the confrontation. And at the end of it, after those 5 years, actually, it's my own psychotherapist. She really believed in me. She said, Chantal, now that you accumulated all from these wounds, from this pain, from this suffer, from these surgeries.
And there are people out there that you need to inspire.
Yes.
You need to help them get off from this mental state.
From the victim, exactly.
I would say manipulative environment.
Yes. So these wounds, how to transform them into wisdom. It's about time you go there, you channel it in the right way. Because if we keep these to ourselves, it's not growing. It's not expand. You know, it's not about expansion anymore. We're not evolving.
It's like it's just for you.
Yes, and more so, you're not contributing to the world. And throughout this journey of mine, I knew, and it was confirmed more and more, that I have to contribute whatever I have learned from my own mistakes. I have to alchemize it in such a way to put it out there in the world. This is where she told me, Chantal, you have to go into coaching. I see you in coaching. And she kept bombarding me with this.
You met her in Dubai?
Yes. Wow. Now she's in Belgium. But really, and anyone who wants to go to psychotherapy, by the way, the always the advice that I give, you need to have chemistry with your psychotherapist. And
Trust.
This is why I have this kind of journey now, because she really believed in me and we had affinities. We had common points in each other's journeys. This is why we could really relate with each other. What I've been noticing, I mean, since a young age, very young age, I was helping my friends. I was basically their therapist. I always helped. I mean, for maybe other motives, to feel loved, to feel validated, but I was still helping in my own way. And always what I've been noticing after reflection, because I had to come up with a name, I always noticed that these people, they always come back to me and Chantal, you know something? You initiated something in me. You awakened something in me. You made me realize.
That is true.
You made me realize about something that I never thought about. And the way they were telling me this, there was a spark in their eyes.
You know, the thing that is that you're very to connect.
Yeah.
You're very, very easy to connect. By the way,
I have this.
I met Chantel few years back while I was working in the hospitality. She was my guest. And we connected so well, so well.
Yeah.
And when we reconnected back was just few days ago.
Yeah.
And the conversation was just flowing.
Flowing.
It was flowing.
As if we saw each other yesterday.
It's just like
Yes.
that. Now, I really want to talk about the narcissism and the toxic relationship,
Yes.
in your words.
Yes.
Your words. How would you describe a narcissist or a toxic behavior?
Okay. So what I've been noticing and what we all know, we are all toxic to a certain degree.
Yeah.
We are all toxic. And this is what makes us human.
But how do we know we are toxic? I mean, how can you know that you're toxic? If
Like the way we want to obtain a certain thing. We are all manipulative to a certain extent. No, really. And it's important to bring light to this because there's sometimes we have to do it. We have to do
because
it.
when you said
this is the good ego because this is what makes us survive in this jungle.
This is a good ego, then this
yes,
I like.
because there is good ego, there is bad ego. So
Yeah.
toxic, we're all toxic.
Yeah.
Now, there's a certain spectrum that I always like this is why in my coaching that I assess in my first session with my clients, I put them in my mind. There's a certain assessment quiz, let's say, and this is where I put them on the spectrum.
Yeah.
So narcissism on the toxic spectrum, it's really on the far end.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm a bit reluctant also to the narcissism labeling. This is also what my psychotherapist, she was very reluctant, but unfortunately social media out there, we have to give it a definition.
Yes. How would you, what name
we
would
are
you call
also, we are also a part of us, all of us, we have a narcissistic side.
Yeah, that's true.
But on the spectrum, when it becomes like bad, quote unquote bad, it goes on the far spectrum. And if it's really of a high caliber, it's next to psychopaths, literally.
Oh my God.
So it's very important to discern, like, yeah, okay, he has some or she has some narcissistic traits. It's very important to discern. Because in our everyday life, we can survive with a narcissist around us. We can,
true.
and we have they're in our workplace. They are in our everyday life. So we cannot just put them on it's not possible. And true strength is really to know ourselves, how to manage ourselves with them. And most of the time, it comes from ourselves.
Yes.
More than from the other dynamic.
Yeah.
So, this is to answer your question, toxic and narcissism. It's on the spectrum.
So they are in the same.
Yeah, but narcissism, it's on the far end. And what characterizes a narcissist is this sense of grandiosity. Everything is about them.
Yes.
The attention should be on them.
We're going to get to that point, actually, because...
this is how they are defined. This
is a very, I would say, this is a very sensitive topic, which a lot of people don't want to talk about. But it's at the same time, it's very important that we talk about this behavior.
Yeah.
Why do you think people sometimes stay in an unhealthy relationship, even when they know it hurts?
That's also interesting.
And before you answer this question, how do I cite a narcissist person? How do I, now in a relationship?
How do you identify you?
How do I identify that? It could be, let's say, in a male or a female.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you identify?
Yes.
Exactly. So they have this sense of grandiosity. Everything about them is grandiose. It's over. It's exaggerated.
It's all about them.
The attention should be on them. Like when they go into a room, most of the time, they act in such a way that the light should be on them. Now, even a good person can do that. No, even a good person with a good aura, with a good light, a good aura can do that.
But you can feel it when
But you can feel it when it's really done on purpose and the way they act, okay? This is one of the things. The second thing, they resist boundaries. Like when you start expressing a certain boundary, they resist it. They don't like it.
They don't like it.
Why?
Why?
Because it's everything about them. It's about control. They have to have the control over the situation. So if you start expressing a certain boundary, they don't like it because they feel they're losing control over the situation.
Most especially when you say, okay, I need a few minutes for myself. And they're like, no, we have to talk about this now.
Yes. And this is exactly when they are very good at denoting, at identifying your weaknesses. Very good at that. So once they identify, let's say low esteem. Let's say you have, all of us women, we have our own insecurities, or why I'm talking about women. Okay, even
men also.
You have
generally.
Narcissistic women even.
Yes.
Okay. But most of the time, the topic that is out there, it's about low self-esteem, women, blah, blah. So they are very good at identifying your weakness and turn it into their advantage to have control over you.
My God.
This is how they feed. And
so what happens when they don't have this, when you don't give them, it could be men or woman.
Yes.
Sometimes your aura is too powerful.
Yes.
That they cannot stand this energy that you bring. And because they know you can say no at any time, how do you shut them? Like, listen, I'm not going to do this right now.
You have to be very firm, very assertive. If you show some confusion, this is where they penetrate and then find their way in.
Like, yes.
If you this is something also I preach. No is an answer. You don't have to justify yourself with them. Because the more you justify, you give them material and more information to feed on. So you don't have to give them information. No is an answer. That's the true strength. Because if we are empath, or we we like to help people, this is what I refer to empath.
Yes.
We over-justify. We think that we have to justify ourselves.
Yes.
But unfortunately, in this kind of dynamic, I never advise it. The more assertive you are, the less they have something to feed on. So, of course, they will feel very angry. They will go into a certain rage, and they will retrieve from you for a certain while.
And come back again.
They will always come back.
What about female friends? Because not just, relationship is general.
Yes.
Female friends. You have a female friend.
Yes.
And you're progressing, just like you're building yourself right now. And instead of congratulating you or, cheering you up.
Yes.
Even to let you know you're doing something great.
Yes.
Or even to point out, okay, this part you need to improve, but they just stay away from you.
Yes.
Does that count as a toxic behavior? And they just come all of a sudden and say, hi.
Okay. Not necessarily. Because your question is very deep, so I'm going to give you a deep answer.
Yes.
Not necessarily. Sometimes when you see them retrieving from your growth and everything, they're not really encouraging you. It can simply means that what you are going through is triggering something inside of them that they are not able to do it themselves.
Oh my God.
So it reflects back to them something that, they're not able to do. So that's why they retrieve. Not necessarily because they envy you, or not necessarily.
Is this safe for you as a person because you trust them?
It depends what you are looking for in the relationship. Again, if you are, and this is also what we have to really stress on that, depends what you are looking. In your growth and in your setting up your business or whatever, if you are focusing always on external validation from these people, for sure you will feel disappointed. For sure you will always nitpicking at what's not going on between you and this person. So I think the real tough work is to look at yourself and say, you know what? What do I like in this person? What do I like in this relationship? Is it the fact that her presence, do I really want her to validate what I'm going through, the encouragement? Do I really want that?
Yeah.
Or there is another side of her that I like, which is her humor. So what do really I want from this relationship? Okay, you know what? I don't really seek her validation. I know what I'm doing, and I'm already on this timeline. I'm not
So
really.
it's okay to stay away as well.
It's okay to stay as well, but if I really, for example, if I really like the humor between us, let me focus our relationship on that dynamic. But that is tough because it's tough.
What's
Because
the point of focusing in that dynamic when you know that you feel it deep down in your heart that this person don't mean you well? So why are you gonna be
again,
around
if
this
you
person?
are clear, if you are honest within yourself, if you are really disappointed about this person, of course you have to like outgrowing. This is what we call outgrowing them.
And how do you outgrow someone that you like and you know that they do you no good?
Surround yourself with the right people. And the right people, the more you carry a positive energy,
Yeah.
the more you are out there thriving and sharing your work, sharing your good energy, you will attract automatically like-minded people. This is what truly I experienced, because I outgrow not only my friends, Kathy, I outgrew family members that didn't want to see me where I am today. Toxic friends, I had to clean up.
Shuffle.
It was cleaning. It was really taking the broom and getting them out of my life, because I really, I saw that was not pushing me towards the version that I am now. Not only what I am now, but towards the version that I want to become. So it's very tough, because this is one of the breakthrough that I came across through my journey. Like, one of the breakthroughs, we have more power than we think. We do. It's not about blame shifting all the time.
Yeah.
This person, no. This person, no. It's in our court, more or less.
Yeah.
And this is where we have it. You asked me a question about inner demons.
Yes.
One of our inner demons, honestly, is something that I discovered. Like, there is always a younger version of us who is really attached to these mechanisms. Like the nitpicking, like, I want your validation. Or it's so hard to detach myself from you, from a toxic partner, for example. It's so hard. Why it's so hard to detach? Why is it so hard? Because there is a younger version of us that is
that they're
really
gonna change or
attached to this, because we think that it's safe to be with this person, brings us safety, because this is all what we know. It's the big familiar. You see, it's very tough. So in my coaching sessions, we explore this younger version. We make connection with her, because through strength, through growth, it's to really getting to know ourselves.
Yes.
Not to get to know the other. We know the dynamic that is happening.
You need to know yourself first.
The more you are immune to those projections, to the gaslighting that these narcissists sometimes enable with us. They change your reality. This is one of the manipulation.
And they try to make you feel like you're doing something wrong.
The problem is you, and it's never them. So this is what we call gaslighting, one of the mechanisms that I explore with my clients. Like, what is... I mean, of course, related to their specific situations.
Yeah.
Because all what I'm telling you, we can find it in social media.
Yes.
It's all about them.
Yes.
It's all about... I mean, it's there. But when you talk with someone and you really go specifically in their situation, this is what we really explore. The kind of gaslighting that has been done, the kind of manipulation, your reality, they change your reality. So you don't know what is wrong, what is bad, you question yourself. You start questioning yourself. Like, what did just happen? So we explore all of this.
So you're very passionate about this topic.
Yes.
Very, very passionate. I can see it.
Yes.
But what are some gentle, clear red flags
Yes.
people should really pay attention to?
Okay. Inconsistency. This is the first thing that comes to my mind. Inconsistency in communication, let's say. Emotional intelligent people will hold space, okay? Will hold space for your weaknesses, for sometimes you're not able to deliver in the right way or whatever. And they will not only hold space, they will be consistent in the way they give you empathy or in the way they hold space for you. They will be present down the line, right? What I mean by inconsistency about these toxic people, sometimes they are there, full presence, and sometimes they will disappear. They will ghost you. They will vanish. So this is when you have to start questioning yourself. This is one of the very first, in terms of communication, the ghosting, the inconsistency in
The
communication,
gaslighters.
in presence. Yes, the gaslighting, it's another thing. Exactly. Gaslighting is another thing. Gaslighting is when you are so sure about something that really happened, you are sure, you saw it with your eyes, and they manipulate the situation in such a way
You get
that they
confused.
change your
mind.
reality. And they are masters at this kind of money. So this is second red flag, let's say, gaslighting. But we have to really be mindful about these things. And it's not easy, again, because not only we have to be mindful, but there is something inside that is happening inside of us that makes us feel like, oh no, if I tell him this, I will feel guilty. So I'm not going to, raise this flag.
Yeah.
So it's like an inner dialogue that we really have to really pay attention to. Like what's happening inside of us? What's this gaslighting is doing to us inside of us? So that's why it's very important to manage our inner dialogue. Because again, if you make this inner dialogue, if you make it like strong, again, it's like, it will be very easy then to see those red flags coming. And this is where you take action. So coaching is that. This is what I'm very focused on the present and the future. What kind of tools, what kind of techniques,
So now you talk about the future. Let's talk about the healing journey.
Yeah, tell me.
What's the very first step, someone can take when they are into toxic relationship?
The very first step.
Yes.
If they already realize.
When they realize.
Exactly. If they already realized.
Yeah, but they're already in the relationship, but they realize, oh, I'm in a toxic, but what to do? What to do first?
The first step I always advise is to talk to someone. Not necessarily therapist, not necessarily a coach. No, not because sometimes we cannot even afford it, honestly. It's to talk to a friend. The very first step is talking. Talking already takes you out of this bubble because it becomes so toxic that you feel like you are in a black hole.
Oh my God.
So I've talked to so many friends that have been in a narcissist, what I call a narcissistic abusive relationship. Literally, when they start talking, it's like
You start to feel
not only feel validated, heard, and seen, which is the very first step. When you tell your story already to someone, and that someone, when they reflect you back, oh my God, this has happened to you. Already this reaction makes you feel that truly, like it makes you realize where I've been. So this is the very first spark, again, to relate it to soulspark. This is the very tiny spark that should happen inside of our souls, that truly there's something wrong.
Wow.
It's first establishing this. Already establishing this, that we were in something wrong. Trust me, this is like huge already.
But why do people have to stay in this toxic relationship when you know that it's already toxic? Why not just get out? Is it that
Again,
difficult?
I love your question, because most of the people, they ask this question. The most common thing could be also a financial thing. Sometimes you have, I'm going to talk about women because this is what I've been experiencing as well. Most of the time you have a big majority of women, they stay in a toxic or not toxic, even abusive relationship because they're not financially independent.
So which means women should be financially independent.
Ideally, yes. Of course, not because of narcissism
but to be strong. Fronts. There's this feeling you have when you can provide for yourself.
Of course,
you can.
Apart from this narcissism and everything, yeah.
When there is money, when you have your own money,
yes,
a lot of things. There's a lot of things. I don't want to use a bad word.
Freedom.
But when there is money, there is freedom.
Of course. So majority is for financial reasons. To come back to your question. The second thing that I experienced, of course, and what I've been noticing, there is, and something that we should not deny at all because it's embedded in us, there is this version inside of us, a young version, that doesn't want to get out of it, honestly.
But why?
Why? Because with this person, that younger version feels safe. They felt safe. They feel familiar. They know this mechanism. And why? Because this is something they experienced in their own childhood.
Isn't that younger version fear? Isn't that also part of fear?
Of course. It's not easy to get out of it. And how many women, I have 3 friends, up to the last day of divorcing, they were about to change their mind. It's mind-blowing. Even when you go into coaching, you accompany them, you guide them. 5 minutes before signing the contract, divorce contract, they can change their mind. It's very, very, very hard. Especially if in your childhood, you experienced this kind of mechanism. So the approach that I bring to my sessions, it's always not to tackle really what he's doing or she's doing.
Yeah.
It's to tackle what's happening inside of us.
So now for parents,
yes,
how would you, because I believe the viewers, most especially parents,
yes,
because for anyone to grow up and be toxic or become a narcissist, it starts from upbringing. What would you say to a new parent?
Yes.
How to bring up a child, What advice? How would you?
It's interesting what you're telling me. Exactly yesterday, I was having the conversation with my physiotherapist. He's a young father, and he's into very self-development. And because he hears my stories. Yesterday we were talking about this. His boy is 2 years old, and he was telling me, Chantal, not because of me only. Because I told you, he's really into self-development and he's really scared of making a mistake. So he was telling me, I will give you an example. He was telling me a certain example, and he told him, no, you don't do this. And his son started crying. So he came back to me, my physiotherapist. He told me, and I feel bad. I told him no. A part of me regretted it that I told him, no, don't do that.
So when is the right time to say no to a child?
I told him, tell me more about that part. The part that regretted that you told him, no. Tell me more about this. He told me, it's interesting I never explored that part. And I can't find really the words. I said, yeah, because you never give yourself the chance to express this in you. Why? He's like, you know why? I regretted it because my parents they always told me no for the same reasons. And I regretted it because my parents never gave me the chance to express myself. Why? Why no? They never gave me a reason.
But unfortunately, a lot of parents are like this.
Yes.
Back in the day. So, I don't know about now.
To come back to the question, not to derive to, because I can speak endlessly about this. I think the advice that parents really like they should be careful about, and what I myself started with my own daughter. I will talk about this also. When she express a no matter what, we have to respect that.
Yeah.
We have to respect this no, and not shut it down more and more. Why? Because later on, let's say in her young life, she said no. Yeah, in her young age, she said no.
Yeah.
This no in her adult life will be the voice that will express herself against those toxic people. So at the young age, the more you say no, the more you repress this voice, and you won't be able to express your boundaries to those toxic people. This is why we stay in a toxic, abusive relationship, because at a young age, this voice was repressed by the parents. Repeating. It's a repeating pattern. So now, to come back to my physiotherapist, I said, really, like, you want to really break the pattern? You want to break the cycle with your child? Don't, if you really want to say no, but give an explanation. Mm-hmm. Because don't repress this voice in him. Like, the voice of expressing his boundary. Don't repress, because this voice, we need it. He will need it for later in his adult life.
Yes.
That's why narcissists, they are very good at crushing your self-worth and confidence as well, because they denoted this in you. They denoted there is low self-esteem, insecurities, you're not able to express your boundaries. It's difficult for you.
And this also comes that loving yourself.
Self-love.
How does
excellent transition. I love the transition. I love it. Yes.
How does learning to love yourself again play into this healing process? So, self-love is a very vast, very huge topic. So it definitely plays a very big role. Yeah. And more than ever in our topic, the narcissism and the toxic relationship, more than ever, because because I experienced this, obviously, we come to a certain extent that we don't love ourselves anymore. Like, there is something like we're crushed down by this toxic relationship. So definitely, first of all, what I define by self-love, to narrow it down, reject negativity, reject negative people, literally. Get them out of your life. This is self-love. Self-love is not only positive affirmation, and meditation, self-care, and I don't know what. No. Reject negativity. Surround yourself by positive people. Surround yourself with people who want to see you grow. Another thing, every accomplishment, every like, even if it's a small win, you need to celebrate it. This is self-love. Yes. You need to go and celebrate. This is how you bring abundance to yourself. Not only to yourself, but you will attract abundance. So self-love is such a big topic, but really top of mind. This is what comes to my mind. Wow. Honestly, love yourself. We will not even stop talking. No, I'm telling you, until tomorrow. I'm very passionate about this. Fire. Yes. And we are going to have you back again on the show for part 2. This is part 1. Looking forward of having Chantel on the show. I will say you did very great. The section was Thank you. Mega. Yeah, I mean, I was a bit nervous, but I think I did it. Look at you. You never stop. I don't know when, but we're going to have a part 2, honestly. Yeah. For the viewers, I want to say thank you for staying with us till this very moment. I believe that you've learned 1 or 2 things, and then you are willing to change whatever that is holding you back, pinning you back. Yes. And Chantel as well is going to tell you, she's going to give you a very solid advice on how to overcome a narcissist, how to break free from this bondage of pain, of betrayal, of gaslighting, how to take hold back of yourself, how to love yourself.
Yeah.
So we're going to see you in the next episode. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, hit the like button, share with someone, tell a friend to watch this section because it's fire. So please, Chantel, can you give advice to the viewers on, any advice?
Talk to someone, to a friend. Honestly, talking is the very first step. It's already freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is always light at the end of the tunnel, for sure.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. It was a pleasure.
And bye.
Bye. Thank you.